call me what you want, open invitation. I'm a human being infused with creative vibration, utilizing melodies and visual stimulation. Beats and stories get the glory, you get the relation. I get impatient like a doctor racing. Bullets coming from my soul, my body just a casing.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Paralyzed Artist Podcast. My name is Daniel Brian Alvarez, and today I have a very special homie that I've now vended with. But yeah, this is we kind of like the first times we officially have kicked it. I want to welcome David Juarez to the show.
Yo. What's up, Daniel? What's going on, man?
Chilling, bro. So I know we've kind of been chilling the whole day, so we've been like kind of chopping it up as we go. And I was like, we were chilling in my car, and we were having such a dope and like deep conversation. I was like, yo, like this is the type of shit that we need to get on the podcast that people need to hear about, you know. So I was kind of like, dude, we should get it on the podcast. And then David was like, well, fuck it, let's go get it, you know. Let's fucking go make it happen. So we decided to shoot through to the house, and here we are. So again, welcome, bro.
Thank you again for having me in your crib and bringing me in and thank you for accepting the invitation last night. Was it just last night that I hit you up?
Yeah, it was last night.
Last night that I hit him up and we're like, yo, like you want to hit up a show, and it's something that I was telling you a little bit earlier that I've begun to I guess practice, where if I have something that I want to do, I don't want to just think of doing it. I want to actually sit down and do it and actually like, not no big pun intended, but like actually do it, do it and keep doing it. So I was like, you know what, like I had already planned out to go by myself, like I told you, and I was like alone, and I was like, you know what, like let me invite the homie let me invite first Josie and Angel, who they've been already so kind with them inviting me to go vending with them. So I was like, you know what, let me I automatically thought of you. I was like, you know what, let me hit him up. I was like, let's see if he's down the road. That's when you came to mind. I was like, you hit him up and you're like, cool. And then that other thing happened, and I was like, all right, like, so here we are, and one thing, the whole day has led to another one. It was cool. We ended up going to a really cool art show. His name was Paralyzed. He was a good dope artist. Was at Self Help Graphics.
I actually got some footage of that, so I could show you guys now.
Check that out.
Check it out. The show is running till February 18th.
I believe so. I have the.
So yeah, there's still a little bit of time to check it out. The podcast will be out, before the show ends. Yep. So it's running through February 18th, and you can find the event through the Self Help Graphics Gallery. Is it?
Yeah, and they're not paying us. We just think that art is dope.
The art was dope. Yeah. So check that out if you guys if you guys check out the podcast and are able to catch it before the show ends. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you could see very well through the cameras, but David is also in a chair like your boy. So maybe we can kind of like start there, start where, how you ended up in
the throne.
How you ended up in the chair gang community.
My throne. So man, let's take it back. It was 2014, August 9th. I went out with a couple of buddies. Had too many drinks. Mm-hmm. I was dealing with, I guess you could say, I don't want to die. It's alcoholism. I was dealing with alcoholism at the time. Mm-hmm. I went out with, a couple of friends out, had too many to drink. One thing led to another, anger, violence, and other things that weren't supposed to happen came into the picture. Mm-hmm. And, I was shot. The day after, I was told I was paralyzed, and that my life was going to be different from that day on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With the actual shooting, like... As soon as you got shot, like it was instantly as well. Like, cause for me it was instantly. As soon as the bullet hit me, I was down. Like I didn't 100% know that I was like paralyzed, mm-hmm. but I for sure instantly was like, something is wrong here. I was like, was that the same case for you? Like,
yes, it was. Although I was very, very drunk. The moment that I got shot, I automatically knew there was something wrong. I dropped to the floor, and I couldn't move my legs.
Yeah.
At that time, that very moment, I could vividly just take myself back where I dropped, and I had my friend, that was running to me, and I just told her, I was like, hey, like I can't feel my legs, I can't move my legs. So even as intoxicated as I was, I felt that something was wrong with me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then what was the process like getting from, your shot to the hospital? Like you guys called the ambulance. How did you end up, at the hospital you ended up at? Or like what was that?
I remember the only thing that happened was I remember telling my friend Daisy, I was like, hey, I can't feel my legs. And I forgot what else I told her at that very moment. And then right after, I just,
Blacked out?
lights went off. And I just remember waking up the next day. I remember I was fighting for I was thirsty. I was very thirsty. That's the only thing that I remember. I was thirsty, man, when I was waking up. And I remember I had my both of my hands handcuffed to the gurney. No, was it the gurney? Is that
Yeah,
what's called, the
yeah.
gurney?
Yeah.
Is it called the gurney?
Well, it's like
The,
a
the, the
bed,
bed or
no?
whatever
But
you
it's
want to
like
call
it's
it.
like a hospital
A
bed that
hospital
has
bed.
railings.
Yeah, the railings
Yeah.
things. And so that's what I was handcuffed to that thing,
Mhm.
because they told me that. Well, now I know this information, but at that time they said that I was so intoxicated that I was trying to fight the doctors and nurses from them even trying to
Help you.
help me out, and so that's why they had to restrain me to the actual bed. But I remember, yeah, that it was just like that, and that was from one night to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Damn, that's crazy,
Yeah.
man. Like I had been drinking a little bit when I got shot, but I never like blacked out
Mhm.
until I got to the hospital, so I know like exactly everything that happened. And I actually been doing the comedy, and I've kind of done some savage jokes about, cause they checked me on the way to the hospital. They just threw me in the car. We like left the guy that had shot me. We were like, fuck it, just let's get me to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
And on the way to the hospital, they were like, make sure that I'm shot or whatever. So they were checking me.
Uh-huh.
It was my sister's boyfriend. Like, he was like checking me, and he lifted my shirt,
Mhm.
and he found my bullet hole, and he kind of like, put his like try to cover it.
Uh-huh.
And then so like I make this joke that I was like, damn, I've been fucked in ways that nobody's been fucked because he fucked my hole. We hit that little bleezy before I have cotton mouth.
Yeah, right.
Um,
I think you know what's so funny. I think I heard you say that joke on. You just said that, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I seen that. I peeped that. I peeped that. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped a video with that joke.
So you said that you have 14 years, right?
14
14
years. Yeah.
years. You know what's so funny? I've always thought that this was very weird when I've met Danny. That everything that like how we've met, everything has been like kind of like doubled in some type of instance with you, where like I've seen that like you have 14 years and I have 7, and like you've been
Yeah.
in this like much, and I'm like I've been in this much. Like it's just always been very ironic, like to have
Yeah.
like to know you this far long now, and it's like how similar our lives have been,
Yeah.
in so many ways, bro. In
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
ways,
We
man.
were,
It's so
how I was saying
mind
earlier, we were
blowing.
having like this deep conversation in the car, and we were just like, bro, we have this almost the same story, in so many ways, as far as like some of the situations that we were in after our injuries, and even some of the ways that we were before our injuries, some of like the things that we were doing and the way that we were living our lives, kind of were like on a similar path. And then here we are. It's weird, like we've connected.
Like I said, we're here now, and I believe that everything comes at a point in our life when it's time like that we need to pay attention to it. You get
Yeah.
me? So for instance, now like I said, I'm on this like new kind of way of thinking where like like I don't want to think, I just want to act. And
Mhm.
with that mindset, I believe that you have more power over the things that you thought that you weren't capable of,
Mhm.
rather than the things that you are capable of. And I mean that it was like, like for instance, like today, like I could have easily just been like, you know what, like I could have easily had me as a person in a wheelchair just easily have given any excuse to like I think this is going out.
Yeah, I think it's the
We good?
I think it's
I think we're good now. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's because I put down the volume a little bit, and I must have just like
Oh,
moved
okay.
it a little bit. So
So yeah, so like I could, so like I was telling you, like I could easily have given to like anybody like easy like excuse like, nah, you know what, I'm not feeling too good or this and that. But I was like, you know what, like nah, like that's not what it's about anymore. Like
yeah,
now it's about like, going out there and being not afraid, because having so much fear sometimes, as a disabled person, is more disabling than
yeah,
actually being disabled.
yeah.
You get me? Like,
Well, I mean, cause it comes with a lot of things. So it's like we were talking a little bit earlier as well. Like I was saying that it's like we were talking about being spontaneous a little bit, and I was like, man, sometimes you lose that ability a little bit, because you just have to think like, is there gonna be restroom? Is it gonna be accessible? Like is the like let's say you're trying to go hiking, is the path accessible for us? You have to kind of like plan things out a little better, because
ahead.
we also use like certain supplies, so you have to be like, all right, do I have enough supplies? Do I have the things that I need? You can't like go somewhere and then you forgot a catheter or something you need, and you're like, oh, like, so yeah, like it's hard to be a little bit spontaneous. So it's cool when you get those moments, because it's like today you invited me yesterday, and we just kind of like kicked it, and then we met at the art walk. We were talking as well how we met the very first time. If I thinking about it now, and then how you were saying like you're paying attention to what's like happening, it's like in a way it almost seems like we're supposed to meet, like something was
Yeah.
trying to bring us together for a
It always
long time.
was, yeah, from the
Yeah.
beginning. Because
Yeah.
even before Pushroom, I had already crossed your page through Instagram,
Oh really?
but I wasn't just gonna just like add you like anything. I'd be like, hey, what's up, dog? Like, it's just like,
Yeah, yeah,
like maybe I think I don't know if I liked the picture of yours or what it was, but like I had already crossed your Instagram already, so
yeah.
I already been aware of like who you were in the beginning.
Okay.
So like once I seen you, and that's why I told you, I was like, yo, like this cat came off as just like he was too serious and just more of a like I don't know, like just I'm business and I'm a G, I was like, all right, like that's what he is. So I just came in as that too. I was like, all right, like I'm just minding my business.
I'm a G too.
Like
dog.
I'm a G too. Then I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna mind my business. And I was like telling him, it was a very kind of thing that it was just scheduled so fast
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
was very awkward for me too. Where I'm telling you, like I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even know my position in that place. Where I was just like,
Yeah.
I like so I just came in very serious. Like, all right, so that's where I got that idea from you, and
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, now I know who he is and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
No, yeah. I mean, in that, with that, I mean, I would take it serious. Like I was serious. Like it's like a nonprofit, and we were doing stuff, and like I took it very serious, because I
Yeah,
feel like it's a medium that's helping people. Like some of the stuff that we were doing.
of course.
So yeah, I was serious about it, but yeah, it also was really early, and I'm not really a morning person, so I might have been a little more serious, because I was like, God damn, it's early, player.
I'm trying to get us back to sleep.
But yeah, but for the most part, normally I'm just kind of like really like outgoing, so people. But yeah, people that if you don't talk to me, sometimes I can come off as like a little serious,
All
and
right,
then I
cool.
might look a little bit, it might look a little like a G too, So you're like, this was a
I was
motherfucking
surprised too
cholo.
when you told me about that. I was like, I'm always usually just kind of friendly, but yeah, you're right. That morning I just came in very awkward. I was just like, I don't know anybody. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna shut up and I'm just gonna be here serious and just like they invited me and that's all I am. I'm just a guest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a cool like that whole thing was like a cool experience.
Yeah, no, no.
I'm
Hey,
glad
shout
for the
out to
things
Ray, and
that
everybody.
Ray
out
and
there.
Push Rim. We're talking about Push Rim. We
everybody.
haven't mentioned it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're still doing things. So yeah, you guys could check them out. They're still doing a few things. Well, what do you consider yourself? Like, you just call yourself an artist in general, or do you have like a specific title you like to use for yourself?
I just like to create, bro. I like to do a lot of like cool and like dope things. Um, like I said, I was giving you a little breakthrough of how my life was ordained, and how I get to see things aesthetically in so many ways, where I could be sitting down and I could be thinking of like, oh, how can I create this canvas, or what can I do with this design to put on a shirt, or or what can I do with or go to like thinking of like what can I make to eat with the certain ingredients that I have. You
Yeah.
know, so I don't really. I don't even know, because it's funny when Angel was telling me, he's like, oh, like you be doing you do sign painting and this. I'm like, nah, I don't be doing sign painting,
Sign
bro.
painting.
Like that's not me, or name sign. Like it's just, you know, like I like to
No.
do art. I like to do, calligraphy, t-shirt, but mainly for sure screen printing.
Screen printing.
I like to say that I was mentored by somebody very great. You know, shout out to Danny Fuentes, and he definitely like hooked me up with the ropes. You know, as him like showing me how to do things in a cheap way, not in a cheap way, but in a way where like you don't have as much to create the most with it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so that to me was that to me, I guess you could say that I guess I would consider myself more of a screen printer than
Mhm.
an artist. You
Mhm.
know, I feel like an artist, I don't know, just dedicates themselves like really into like art, where like they're like, you know, like as far as like a painter, you know, like
Mhm.
they're like, I don't know, you get what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but like if I had to give you, I would say in general, artist, because I mean you can interpret it however you want.
Mhm.
Like the way I interpret it is
Mhm.
like I can be an artist, like, and then I just have a bunch of different mediums. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to get specific, because I
Mhm.
like I don't like to say, oh, I'm a painter. I'm just like, I like to say, I'm an artist, because I
Mhm.
do more than one thing.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess it's artisan over general.
Or I
Yeah.
would say entrepreneur, because some of
Yeah.
the thing, the way that you're managing things. So you know,
I guess more of an entrepreneur, because I do like, you know, being in the sales side, you know, like I was explaining
Mhm.
to you, like I like coming up with ways to sell product and not making the consumer feel like they've been gotten. You know, like
Yeah.
I like to. I've been in so many situations where I've gone to places and I've bought things where like I feel they're just taking my money and they're not giving me a thank you for it. You
Yeah.
know, and that's the thing that I wanted to change, and that's where I'm like, you know what? Let me bring to the table with what I have, and make the consumer feel better. So that's, I guess you could say, I guess where my mind's at. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hold on, let me move a little bit.
Wheelchair problems, you know. Hey,
Nah, it's cause
difficulties.
nah, it's cause I'm positioned like this way, and then I'm looking at you, so I'm
Yeah, yeah,
twisting my spine
your
a little
spine,
bit,
yeah.
so I'm starting to feel that. I can't feel it, but I can feel it. Yeah, try to bring the mic a little closer
Oh,
to you if you can.
there you
Yeah,
go.
so we can actually hear you.
There you go. Yo, give
So
me just 1 second real quick, because I
for
don't know
sure.
if my mom was hitting me up, and I don't know if it was like emergency. She's actually,
No.
my mom's in Hawaii right now, so
Oh,
shout out to my
serio?
mom. You know, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to make. All right, cool. We good. We good. We good. We good. Yeah.
Yeah, no emergencies. We don't got
Nah,
no
nah, nah. Yeah, my
emergencies.
mom's good. Shit.
No, yeah, don't even trip. So screen printing, like, so that's like the what you like
Mhm.
doing the most. That's what you're like. You're
Oh yeah, man. I really do like screen printing, bro. Like I said, I was taught in a way where I have things in my house now where I could do it if I wanted to,
mm,
and I could create pretty much anything with it, and then that to me just it brings that much joy to me to see something like create, you know, and kind of come together, you know,
mm-hmm.
from, you know, drawing it into printing and, you know, just bring it into life.
Yeah,
I geek out over that for sure. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
like just when you with any art, when you create something, it's cool. You know,
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
it's funny. I have this I have this thing where I'll start painting stuff, and then when I'm like 85% done, I'm like, "Ugh," I leave. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up, so I'll leave. So for me, man, when I finish something, it's like a big ass victory, bro. I'm just like, it's done.
Yeah. But see, the thing about, I guess, screen printing is a little bit different, because every project is different. So even if it's just a one color, you know, kit, every single project is gonna be different, because every single project is a different design and a different, um, I guess you could say, technique that we're supposed to use with it.
Mhm.
Even though it might, you know, to the screen printer might look at the image as like, oh, the same, and it could be translated through the same screen. It isn't the same, you know. It is just something that is, I guess you could say, if you've been screen printing for a long time, you know that every project is different, and every project is a different, a new experience that you get to learn something from.
Yeah, yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I'm kind of still new with like the paintings too, so I'm still like
Yo,
developing
you guys
stuff.
gotta hit him up. You guys gotta get one on this on your wall, cause I'm telling my boy right here, you having too much. So I'm probably gonna take one home and shit tonight.
Handle. I want to say we were having like this conversation about kind of like some of the things that we've had to like deal with when it comes to like dealing with our injury and like some of the things that come with it. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but I just kind of like, it's always interesting to hear your perspective on how you're dealing with certain things. So when it comes to our injury, like especially if you've never met someone with our injury, it's like most people think like, oh, they just can't walk, or it's just like that's, and there's so many little other things that we're dealing with that it's little things, but eventually they start adding up. And we were talking about a few things, like for you, what do you feel is like one of the things like that maybe the average person might not know about dealing with our injury? Like for you, what is one of the things that you kind of are like, damn, this is crazy, like
That they might not know about?
yeah, or that you feel is like that is kind of crazy dealing with, like everyday type thing, or like just in general, like
The catheter?
the cathing
Catheter
part.
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That to me, honestly, though I am paralyzed, when I wake up and I have to get on my chair, I think that the most eye-opening thing for me every morning that like really like tells me like, hey dog, like you paralyzed, like like you really are who you are right now, is when I begin to catheterize that 5 a.m., 6 a.m. like
Yeah.
fucking piss. I'm sorry, I don't know if we're cussing or
No,
it's good.
handle.
But yeah, that usually that first piss, where I have to go and catheterize, that usually like opens up my eyes. It's
Wait.
like yeah, hey dog, you're in the wheelchair, dog.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
you paralyzed.
paralyzed.
I'm
Yeah, you paralyzed.
yeah,
Yeah, you
wow.
paralyzed,
I
dog.
you really is paralyzed. And when we say cathing, it's so our, depending on your level of injury, you can't certain things don't function the same. So like in both of our case, we have kind of like the same situation where we could kind of feel when we need to go, but it's kind of just like little subtle hints we get. And for the most part, it's always like we need to cath, and what it is like we have to empty our bladder with a cathing system, which is basically like just a little tube that you have to insert into your urethra, and it kind of just like goes into your bladder and empties out into a bag basically. And yeah, just thinking about that in itself is like, damn,
Bro, I think you should use this as a fucking as a scare or something. But like, I've always said like, yo, like you're never gonna know what it is to be paralyzed, or what's going on till you fucking put a straw down your dick, dog. Like I say it like that, dog. Like, cause and like,
they know.
hey, dog, being real, that's what it is. Like, you just
Yeah,
put a
man.
fucking, you feel me? And that's what actually, I don't know what it is to you that actually wakes you up. Like as far as that makes you.
I think it's the same. Like
Same,
just
right?
dealing with like just with all that shit is just kind of like, especially when you go from like pissing and all that shit. Like when you're able-bodied, like it's something you don't ever think about. It's just something natural that happens. So when you complicate shit by having to deal with things, and then having issues of like, we can feel it, but like in my instance, I could feel it, but I only have a certain amount of time where if I don't cath, it's coming out, bro. So you might be like, let's say you're on the freeway driving, and then I start getting that feeling, and then like there's traffic and I can't move out. Yeah, man, it's coming out, player. It's coming out. Like, and that's like aside from being in the chair, and then there's so many other. It's like just little things that are just like, damn. Sometimes I'm just like, I was actually telling a friend recently. I was like, I get kind of like moments of depression, and I have little moments where I'm just like, damn, it sucks to be in this situation or whatever. And sometimes I just feel like I'm just like, damn, if I could get like a little week break, like give me a week break where I could
That's
just,
funny you say that, bro.
and then I'll take another 10 years. Just give me a little week break where I don't have to deal with none of this shit. Let me just recharge.
You know what? It's funny. I'm not the only one that has thought that, so thank you. Shit,
Yeah.
you know what? Hey, I have thought about that. I'm
Hey,
like,
bro.
yo, you know what?
Yeah,
If you just
yeah.
give me one fucking day, 24 hours to give me my fucking legs.
I was being greedy. I was taking a week, bro.
You're thinking a week? I said one day. I said 24 hours. I was like, you know what? I'll wake up at 12 and I'll fucking, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll keep on fucking running till 12 a.m. hits from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. Dog, like,
That's, yeah, that's crazy. We were having a conversation, like I was saying earlier, and then we literally have been through so many things where we're thinking a lot of the same things. Like what were we talking about earlier? Like we were having a conversation about some of the mental things that come with the injury, and one of the things that I was mentioning to David was like that. Me, as I was growing up, like almost as far back as I can remember, like women were always kind of just like giving me attention, you know, like I always had kind of like women kind of like around me and one way or another. So I never like, even as I got older, I never really had to like go out of my way to like get attention from women. And it's just kind of like, it was the kind of thing that I was used to. And even at that time, I realized that okay, this isn't normal. Like not
Mm-hmm.
every guy gets this much attention from
Mm-hmm.
women. And then so basically anywhere I would go, I would get like smiles, if whatever, just attention in general. And
Mm-hmm.
then I get shot, and then all that, and then it's just gone. All that gone. Like all that attention always kind of like showing up, like let's say for example like at a party, always kind of just being like, okay, I mean now you can still show up to that party and we'll still get attention because
Yeah.
we stand out,
It'll be the
ironically.
different attention.
Yeah, it's different attention,
Yeah.
definitely. But man, for me that was one of the biggest, man. I was just like, man, like cuz like just think about it, like think about having something, always having something, and then all of a sudden just having it taken away from you. It's
It's a definitely a big shift in life, and like I was explaining to you, and we were pretty much kind of going over our lives. How I too kind of had it almost similar to where like I would get attention, and it was never that difficult for me to kind of find somebody.
Mhm.
And yeah, once I got shot, the tension and feeling that power over, like when you are walking, like,
Yeah.
oh, you feel like you could be okay talking to anybody. Oh, cool,
Invincible in a way. It's
invincible,
just like you literally,
invincible. Yeah,
when you're
you
young and you're
yeah.
naive like that, you think nothing can happen to you. That I mean,
It happens, and once after I got shot, it was all stripped down from there. It really humbled me down, to the point where like I felt like I was somebody, and then like right after it was like, dog, you ain't nobody, homie. Like you really
yeah,
ain't nobody. You ain't shit right now. You
yeah,
ain't shit. It really it brought me down to the lowest part of my life.
for sure.
Physically, it brought me down to the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
No pun intended. Um, but yeah, it definitely it definitely fucking opened me up right there for sure. Yeah.
And you said something earlier when we were talking. You said it's like it kind of took away your identity in a lot of ways. It was like because you were doing certain things, you were kind of like known for these certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're gone. It's like you have to deal. Like for me, it was that it was I always like had attention from women, and then I was really good at sports.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was really good at basketball and football, and then I didn't. It's crazy because I never realized how much I was taking it for granted. Like just how much of a stress release it was for me to be able to just go to the ballpark and play some ball, and then
Yeah,
I
you
never
start seeing
realized
everything for
until I.
yeah, you start seeing everything what you take for granted, and yeah, you definitely. I saw it in that sense where I fought for my identity after, in that sense, where like, yeah, I thought I had it good. I thought I had it really good, like right before I was shot, that right after I got shot, it shook my world, and was like, all right, you need to recalibrate, and you need to build a better foundation, because the one you were on was very rocky, and that shit was just gonna crumble you down no matter what,
Yeah.
So um it put me in a perspective where like it took everything bad away from me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It took everything away bad from me. That it was that ignorance was, like I said, is bliss. Because at that time I was like, damn, it took all the bad, it took all the good away from me. Like what the fuck, like like how the fuck am I gonna do this? Like like my legs were doing this. I was doing that.
Yeah.
But I was like I was a kid. I was naive. I was still very infuriated with life. I was very angry at it. So I definitely can understand how I was projecting at the time. For
Yeah.
sure, I could
You,
definitely understand my projection. Yeah,
you
for
were
sure.
coming off as like an angry fucking person
Oh,
and shit.
definitely, definitely. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Yeah, like after you acquire like an injury, like we acquire, you almost literally have to rebuild who you are. Like you literally have to build a new identity because you're not the same person. Like I always say that when I got shot that day, like
Hmm.
80% of who I was died,
Yeah,
and I've
I
had to
agree.
rebuild that 80% and build this new me, who I am. And I was saying like I appreciate the lessons that I've gotten after my injury, but it's like fuck, it's a heavy ass price to pay for these lessons, you know? And it's like we were talking about it earlier, and it's like fuck, like. But it's like like when I talk to you, man, like I can feel like some of the like the knowledge that you have, and I know it's because you know this shit really slows you down and makes you think about the things in life that you need to fucking work on. You realize, like I realize how much I was just like going through life and not really thinking about. I would just kind of just,
Well, I was
um,
going 100 on the street. I was
you know,
going 100 on the street, dog. Let's just put it
yeah,
out. I just put it out. That's how fast I was going.
yeah,
You know, I was definitely. I was just. You know, I thought that I was invincible. You know, I thought that. You know, I thought that everything. I thought that the world was bending at my will.
yeah,
You know, I really thought that it was bending at my will. And right after, like exactly how you said, man. I felt like uh, I was I was reborn
mm,
into this person, you know, that you are in front of now.
yeah,
You know, everything that I have encountered with and I've experienced has not been in vain. You know, has
mm-hmm.
not gone to waste. You know, because I have learned something from it. You know, starting from that moment that I was shot. You know,
Yeah,
even from the person that shot me. You know, I think about it like how they say, you know, that it really takes a lot to change the way that something affects you at that very moment.
mm,
You get me? So, for instance, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. You get me? The guy who shot me, he was black,
mm,
and I could have easily have turned, you know, racist. I could have easily been like, nah, fuck that. You know, like I
yeah,
blah blah blah. You know, I could have easily been on that card.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, but I wasn't like that. I was like, you know what? I treated the person as an individual,
mm,
and that's what kind of elevated me to think this way.
yeah,
You get me? Because if I would have kept on thinking the way that, you know, any other person that would have held his anger and just wanted to take revenge, I
mm,
think would have not like have been enlightened to this type of pathway.
yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
Like I feel that it takes a lot for us that like anybody, not even if you're in a wheelchair. I just think that, you know, whether you take your problems, um, I will let me rephrase this. If you take your problems in the right, I guess, mindset and don't let it crumble you,
mm,
I think that it builds you.
yeah, yeah,
You know, so
for sure.
I definitely stand by that for sure, man,
Sure.
for sure.
No, yeah, like you're obviously you don't want heavy ass hardship, but it's like going through some hardship sometimes. It's like when you go through some shit and get through it, it builds your character and like you're the person that you are
Yeah,
because of the experiences you've had, you know,
exactly.
good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, so I didn't I feel like I didn't explain it earlier, like about how I feel. Like I feel like I feel this kind of like wisdom that you have,
Mm.
and I feel like that's that you have some of that because of I think some of the shit that we deal with.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was telling you earlier, like some of the dopest people that I know are like people that are in chairs. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's because when you're in a chair, you pretty much went through some shit that could have killed you or you could have died from it. And I feel like that changes you. Like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just like you think a certain way. We tend to be like more open about things, and you. I feel like we tend to really think about things. You know, we really just like really think about things. So it's like it's cool having like conversations with people that really understand what you're going through, and it's so crazy. You're like my fucking wheelchair twin, bro.
And it's funny that you said that because it actually does make you think about the things that you didn't think before. Because I could definitely, I'm here to, you know, be testimony of it, you know, like because um I could be here and testify for it. You get me? Because like I definitely was one of those persons that like I wouldn't really I would just act on impulse, you know, a lot of the times, and that shit would get me in trouble.
Yeah.
You get me? And then like once after that happened, I was like, nah, all right, like if that got me to where I'm at, I definitely got to slow it down, and that definitely got me thinking about like, all right, like I think your thinking and your way of connecting the dots aren't so healthy for you right now, dog. So you gotta step back and you gotta like, you know, you gotta check yourself real quick, cause yeah,
But it's hard, like it's hard to do that, like especially when you're like able-bodied and you think you don't think about how vulnerable you could be. It's like not even a thought in your mind, bro. Like your health is not even a thought in your mind, bro. And then
man,
skirt, hit the brakes on that, homie. Like
yeah,
let me slow you down. Like life was like that bullet, just it's
it
like
really
hold
does
on,
slow you
hold on.
down. How many times did you go to the hospital after your injury? Like well, like the I was gonna say like the first year postponed, like
A lot.
a lot.
I would say at, pretty much once a month, because it's like your body goes through crazy changes as far as like we were saying
Adjusting.
about cathing. It was mainly that, just kind of like getting used to that, and then I tended not to like drink water because you worry about like peeing and all that. So it's like this little cycle you go through,
Crazy,
and then
dog.
you get like we tend to get UTIs because we are sticking something in our body, and then you could kind of like mess up and like maybe get bacteria on it, and then you could kind of like give yourself UTIs, and just in general you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing to your body. So we can get like these UTIs, and then you have to go get antibiotics. um and then like if you've ever gone to the hospitals, or most of the time it's like a half a day, full day process. um
Damn, tell me about it. You better take your lunch bag. You better take your iPad. You better take, you know, you better take
yeah,
your blanket, dog, because you're gonna be in there for a while, dog.
cancel that whole day off, bro. Cancel that shit off, son.
You gotta do something about that, man. Like,
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I don't know how it was for you, but for me, I had only been to like a hospital. I, I exaggerate when I say just 2 times, but for the most part, when I was born,
mm-hmm.
and then I broke my hand. I broke my hand on somebody's face,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to
Oh,
go
so
to the
you had, oh,
hospital.
okay, all right,
This is when
yeah.
I was still walking. Yeah, I had to go to the hospital for that. But for other than that, I had never really been to the hospital. And after my injury,
Mm-hmm.
obviously throughout my injury,
Yeah.
I was in the hospital for a month.
Oh, okay.
And then now I've lost count how many times I've been to the hospital.
Yeah, me too. I think I lost count. But in the
Yeah.
beginning, before that, I from what I remember, from what my mom tells me, and from what I remember is that I used to have seizures as a baby. That's about it. And then after that, I think I went to go remove my tonsils in sixth grade. So
Okay.
that was about it. And then after that, I've never broken any bones.
Mm.
I've never been anything like that. And it's funny too because right before I had gotten shot, I was getting really heavy into like herbal remedies, and I was going to like I was going into to the Central Public Library in downtown LA. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was walking there with the homie Skaggs, peace to him. We were literally walking there like from Koreatown to downtown LA. We'll carry a jug of water,
For sure.
you know, just be jogging and like, you know, kind of I mean just walking, you know, like through the streets or whatever. You know, we go through to a library, and then I would just get books and I'll start reading up on all that.
Yeah.
And so like that would always be my something that I would always be attracted to, you know, where like
Yeah.
I always wanted to be like closer to the earth, you know, because that's where we come from, and especially because I'm from Oaxaca,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything that we eat, what we are, we get it from from Mother Earth,
Yeah.
you know, so it's a big respect factor in that sense where like I want to just kind of keep contributing that to my life,
Yeah.
that it makes me feel that good, and it does make me feel that good because
Yeah.
I feel it, you know. I can definitely feel when I'm drinking a soda and I'm drinking a tea. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's that much of a big difference, dog.
Yeah.
Especially in a wheelchair, you know,
Yeah.
like I feel that it's a superpower that we have now because we get to actually understand our body that much more.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, a soda to anybody, it doesn't really get to feel it like how we feel it. Like I get to, I got to, I feel like when you told me that you can't really drink soda, you can't eat candy or none of that. Like
It's not that I can't. I just
you don't want
decided
to.
not to because I just
Exactly.
like, okay, yeah, there's certain things that I want, that I don't want to put in my
Exclude
body
from
anymore.
your body, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing though. What I'm trying to say is that like I exclude that from my. Well, I don't exclude it that much because I still do it. But I understand. What I'm trying to say is that like we get to understand our body that much because even it's just a single like little drop of it or something that we're not supposed to have, our body automatically tells us like, oh, like you weren't supposed to have that. You weren't supposed to have it. And that's what I'm trying to say is like we have that little like extra superpower that like the able-bodied person doesn't really have, where like if they were to be like that much aware of their body, they wouldn't have it as much.
Well, you just said it. It's like it makes you really aware of your body. You have to really
aware.
You have to pay attention. Because then if you don't, like you have to be on certain things, because if not, it could lead to other things, and it's like it makes you really aware of your body and how your body really works. Like one of the things that I realized after my injury is that I was going out throughout my life dehydrated because I was always drinking like sodas. I was always just drinking like Gatorade. I would never really drink water. Like I would just drink water here and there.
That's a huge part in the like the wheelchair world, bro. Like that's a huge part, and that's very underrated.
Water in general, like for the most part, people don't drink
that
right
much water. Yeah,
and this I don't to this day, because I'm like, fuck, it's gonna make me go piss, and then my bladder right now it's like I got a baby bladder. I have to go get that little Botox.
I was getting that too, but again too, the diet changed and helped a lot. All of that, bro. It helps a lot. The way that you start taking care of your body with the right foods and the right things, and with your body starts accepting it, and it's like, oh, it feels good after that. Because once you start having a little bit of like, let's say a little cheat meal or something that you're not supposed to have, you automatically feel it right away. You're like, oh damn, like you weren't supposed to have that. You weren't supposed to have that, bro.
I'm gonna show you your body. Our bodies will tell you.
Oh yeah, like. It'll silently whisper. You're like, you had that nacho dipped pizza or whatever the hell you like.
I'm gonna show you. Give me a look. You start feeling this rumbling in your stomach.
Just give me a little. Give me an hour or two. Yeah, you'll pay for it.
I have like other wheelchair homies, and we call those situations the Code Brown situations.
Code Brown, homie.
Get the Code Brown, like it's just like one of those things that it's one of the bullshit shit that comes with the injury, man, with not being able to feel your body completely.
It really is.
You want to humble yourself. You were saying a little bit earlier about your art and all that. You do screen printing, and you also do like shirt stuff. That's with the shirts. That's also considered screen printing.
Yes, that's screen printing. Yes, all of that is considered screen printing. Anything that's I guess screen printing is anything you're able to transfer with ink onto any type of surface.
Okay.
So for instance, like this, that I think that's screen printed too. Like the little Empo logos and all that stuff on it. Like you feel it. You get to get the little grooves and all that. So you get to start seeing how much screen printing plays a huge part in this world, because it's all around us. It really is all around us. Everything that we kind of like see and we do, like those boxes, like the stickers that we get, like the cereal boxes, all those little things that you start seeing, like all of that is screen printing. Yeah, so it definitely is. It plays a huge role in our life. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I kind of heard you kind of explain it to some people. We were vending the other day at an event, and that's funny how we were saying that we kind of been coming in each other's paths. We connected again at this vending event, and I kind of was hearing you when you were talking to some of the people that you talked to, where it's like you do the shirt yourself, right? You like some of the stuff that you do, it's all like your designs. And
yeah, man, so everything I do is so pretty much, let me pitch it to you. Like if you were
sell me your shirt, bro. Sell me your shirt.
All right,
sell us your shirt.
So you're coming by the spot. You start seeing. I'm like, hey, we'll come check out some art. I do everything from home. I design everything from home. Everything that you see and from right in front of your eyes, I do from A through Z. So that means that I do the designing part. I do the screen burning. I do with the screen printing. Well, if people that are not familiar with screen printing, it's just a part of the process that you have to do for screen printing, and it's a very long process.
Mm-hmm.
I go out and I go and scout for the material, the fabric. I play with the logos. I play with all types of different types of aesthetics. All the colors, all the colors that I make, I custom make the colors just to go with that specific T-shirt. So everything that you see is very customized and has an objective.
Okay.
Everything has a reason why it's there.
For sure.
And like I was telling you, I've been a consumer for so long
Mm-hmm.
that I understand now what the consumer likes. You get me? And it has taken me this much to understand that I'm able to put that into my own projects now. You get me? So like I was telling you earlier, the way that I'm using my screen printing and my T-shirts is in a form where I want to not only in a sense aware people that you could do anything from any type of circumstance,
Mm-hmm.
but that you could also provide something that's worth of quality and that people are gonna actually feel good and not feel like they've been like robbed. You
Yeah.
get me? Because that's most of the time, like you want to go, you go get something new, you get something nice or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you often feel like, damn, like I think I shouldn't have paid that much for it, or like
Yeah.
I didn't even get a thank you, or like there's no like little thank you card, or like just the packaging is wrong, or like it's just so many things that could aesthetically feel the person like they got robbed.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to use this platform and or my craft in a form where like I want to take all that those, I guess, the bad away from it and
Mm-hmm.
give a better experience to everybody, and most of all make it affordable to anybody. You
Yeah.
get me? Because I was once a kid growing up, like I was telling you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up from a family where my mom couldn't really afford everything I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
so imagine how many people and kids are still in that position right
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
where like they can't really afford that much, or they
Mm-hmm.
can't really do this, like there's t-shirts going out for like $100 or 150 $200, and I'm like, Jesus, like what you're doing is like you just I get it, it's fashion, I get it, it's I'm not knocking it down, it is
Branding.
what it is, but I feel that with all that, I think it should be affordable too, and
Mm-hmm.
even if you're Dior or Gucci or whatever it is, I feel that you should make something affordable for different category for different demographics.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? Because no matter what, if your shit is dope, people are gonna support it no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get me? It's just that how accessible you make it to people. You get
Yeah.
me? Like,
Where can people find your work? You have like website you have, or where can just use
oh
Instagram
yeah,
to
just
connect
on
with people?
Instagram right now. It's at wishfulthinking.la. That's pretty much where I sell all my stuff right there.
For sure.
Yeah, you can check it out
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll throw that. I'll throw
Yeah,
like the
check it out.
website on the screen so you guys could check it out. And I was saying, you were saying earlier that you like to make people feel like they got like a quality product and a good deal. I did see you didn't mention you do like a pretty cool combo. I saw that as well
Mm-hmm.
when you were vending at the store where you have a your shirt at a reasonable price considering that it's art,
Mm-hmm.
and then you add like a little extra bonus for the people that buy your one of your
The
shirts.
custom name.
They get a custom name, and I don't know if the camera is catching. You hooked it up when we were at the show actually with the
Oh, yeah.
piece, and then I'm sure you have videos and stuff of you like working on it, so you guys could actually see what what we're talking about. I'll throw that up on the screen. So yeah, like it's they get like a 2 for 1.
Yeah,
You know.
and that's only during pop-ups. I
Okay.
don't really offer that online.
Okay.
I usually do that on at the pop-ups because I feel that it's more of an experience for the person, and it gives me that much more time, and it buys more time for me to actually talk and conversate with the person.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets me to pick their brain, and then they pick mine.
For sure.
So at the same time that I'm doing their name, they
Yeah.
get to know who I am,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that I'm not just like somebody that's just, trying to like get their money and be like, all right, like, thank you for your money, I'm out, and like, I'm not care about this that you worked hard for your money.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, I want you to, be there and understand that, like, I have taken the time to create this so you could feel, so it can make you feel this way too about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel that I have gotten so many people compliment me that where like they tell me they're like, damn, like, I really like this t-shirt, thank you so much, it's one of my favorite t-shirts. And like, I feel that with that sense, I feel like it makes them, like, when they wear the t-shirt, like, it makes them feel like, in a sense, a little bit cool, or like it's dope or something, where like, oh, like, it makes them feel that type of I guess it helps them, I don't know, I guess, feel good, and that's this part of the experience that I'm trying to say. That like, I want you to, I only offer that, in person, because it makes us, it buys time for me to like get to know you.
Yeah.
And I think it's that much dope when you get to buy something and then you get something customized from the artist.
Yeah.
I feel like that you're able to support that person that much more, right there and then. And I feel like for any artist that they could do that in 5 minutes, like how I do it, it shouldn't take that much to do that. Like, if you're in that type of scale of you coming up, you get me? Because like, if it's not taking any time from you, then like, why not? You get me? Like, I don't think they should, like, think that your shit don't stink. And don't think that, you shouldn't, like, offer a little bit more.
Yeah. No, and you're also adding value to your work in general, because it's like you're saying, you're having a conversation with them. So you're adding an experience with your artwork. So like when they have one of your shirts on, or when they have one of your pieces that, they have like a story that goes with that. Like, oh, I met him. He did like this name in front of me. I got to know a little bit of his story, um, and I feel like that's a part of being like an artist or creating some type of creative medium. It's like you people have that connection to you. Like, at the end of the day, it's cool to say like, yeah, I actually know this person, like, I know this artist.
Yeah,
And
you're
I mean,
right,
if you fucking get to the point where you're creating stuff for like big brands and you're like a big name, they could be like, dude, I saw when he was just
like upcoming like that. Yeah.
Like, how long have you been like actually going out there and like vending, like, like, you're telling me earlier about you guys do like vending at like the Rose Bowl, and you've done a few other shows, I'm sure. Like, how long have you been like actually?
It started one day, like, like one day too, where I told you, like, I just stopped. I got tired of thinking of going out and doing it. Where I was like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna fucking go do it right now, dog. Like, all this talk, no walk, no walk, no walk. Like, yeah, of course, no pun intended. Like, so I went out, and then I went to like a corner by my house, and that was the first time that I started going out there. And this was in, I want to say, right. All of this has just started right before the pandemic started. So it was like maybe the beginning of 2020, like in January 20, like January, February, somewhere around that time, March. I had just started going out, like vending out there, and I was like, you know what, let me put myself out there. And then after that, that's when I told Red Dot, peace to Red Dot, I was like, yo, what's up? Let's go to the Rose Bowl. Let's go halves on it, and let's post up. And it was a great turnout, and we've been doing it every month since. But the pandemic came through, and then that fucking fucked everything up for everybody.
Messed up.
And so the once we got over that hill, everything resumed back to normal, well, semi-normal. And so we're back to now, vending now at art markets, the Rose Bowl. And luckily, I'm trying to get the roster full for the whole like year, because it's that time where, like, you know what, it's time to do something now. Because if you don't do it right now, and like I was explaining to you like a little bit like earlier, and I hate to say it a little bit earlier because so much is because we've had this conversation like the whole day that like we're just trying to repeat everything that we have said, because it's just that dope to listen and hear somebody think that same way too, and this is on some serious note for like everybody that's on a wheelchair, that our life expectancy gets cut that much shorter than the able body. And so within that opened up a big fucking like 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 bulb in my mind was like, you know what, like it's just time to do it. It's time to do it this year, you know. And it's we all have been sitting down, you know, like been comfortable. We've been doing this, but honestly, like there's no time to be comfortable in life, you know. There's always it's always time to be like doing, you know, moving, and it's always, you know, time to do something, you know. uh I've gotten this from my mom's, and from, you know, just having her work ethic and having that type of maneuvering through life, where like, you know what, like let's do something today, like let's keep the mind productive, you know, because that's what's going to keep you growing and keep you from aging, honestly, bro. You know, because if you keep your mind productive and keep on like, you know, like having, you know, occupied with, you know, doing this task, this, and doing this and that, of course everything in a positive and moderately way, you get me, where like, you know, you bring in, you know, balance into your life, where like, you know, you bring in good things, and you know, you're having, you know, things for yourself, and you know, bringing like for your mental self too, you know, where all of that, you know, comes into balance, and what I'm trying to say with that is that, you know, we don't have that much time, and that's just an able-bodied person too, where it's like, yo, like you have to live in the present, and you have to stop worrying about like shit that happened fucking 10, 15, 20 years ago, like that, like it's not gonna change nothing if you keep on dwelling on it, dog. Like all you gotta do is just keep going, and just keep thinking about what you do got right now, that it's more beautiful than the shit that you had back then, because right now it's like, yo, you're waking up, you got a roof over your head, you know, you getting fed, or you feeding yourself or whatever, you know. All of that is something that like not a lot of people wake up with. You get me? And that in itself is like, you need to keep going, and it should be already more fuel enough to keep going, and you know, we're just here just paying our dues and just keep going with what it is, you know, because this is the life that we were given, and I'm not gonna hear the bitch out and be like, oh, this is not my life, I'm not gonna live this, you know, because like we were talking about, you know, again earlier, like it could have been so easily just fucking like check out of this life so easily, you know, and be like, okay, I'm done with it. But you know, you have to really think about that. You were just thinking about in a very selfish, you know, and very self-absorbed way, you know, where you just wanted to end the agony for you, but it's gonna start the agony for everybody else. You feel me? And like once you know, you stop thinking like, nah, you know what, you don't want to check out, you want to keep going. That's where I feel that, you know, life is really gonna, you know, throw different flowers at you, you know, where like we won't, you know, we probably as you know, like we won't feel the same joys that like, you know, all these other like able probably people body do, but like what we are gonna feel is, you know, the joys of, you know, having somebody just like you understand me, and knowing that I'm not the only one going through this. You get me? And that like there's millions of people that are going through this too.
For sure.
You get me? And I don't want, you know, anybody to feel any type of way that you're any less than an able-bodied person, because we're all alike, you know. Even you have to think about it, there's people that are walking and are more disabled than the persons that are, you know, in an actual wheelchair. You feel me? And so like I think that, you know, it's just all in perspective, you get me? It's all really in perspective, and just being like, you know, kind to one another, and understanding that like everybody's going through some bullshit. That's key right
everybody
there,
like
that's
I always say
right
like
there, dog.
Everybody's going through some shit. Like some people like us, it's kind of a little bit more obvious, and other people are, you know, going through shit that you can't see sometimes, but they're still going through some shit. And then just talking to like for other people that might be watching this that are in chairs, like one of the things that I would emphasize to do, especially if you tend to feel like kind of like down and stuff, and like is connect with other people in chairs too, because like nobody can you can really nobody can understand you like somebody that's going through something similar to, you know, like that you could speak on certain things where it's like
I think don't be afraid to speak up. Sorry, let me cut you off.
No, no.
Don't be afraid to speak up. I think that's the biggest thing right there, man. Like besides, man, you're in behind the screen. Get me? Oh, come on, man. Like, you should not be terrified if you're trying to hit up somebody behind the screen. You know, get me? Like, like what's, you know, like I think that's, you know, socializing with other people that are in your same position. It's a very healthy thing for you, you know, because you know you get to start like not feeling so much bad about yourself when, you know, you start hearing stories about something that happened to you, and then I'm like, damn, like that shit hasn't happened to me, but like. oh shit, like it has happened to somebody else, you know. But then again, like this hasn't happened to you. You get me? So it's always a thing where like nobody's gonna win, and nobody's supposed to be on that type of like, oh, I'm better than you.
No,
You know, it's just like, yo, like you're going through this, and I'm going through that.
I say that overall because I made the mistake of being like, nah, I'm not gonna be around wheelchair people. I'm gonna. So for a long time, like I would say years after my injury, I was just like, fuck everything. I don't need nobody. I just was my girl all the time, just going to my doctor's appointment. Bro, I didn't even go to like, um, I would go to like doctor's appointment, but I never even, I had it scheduled, but I never went to like the outpatient therapy, like any of the like physical shit.
Yeah.
I didn't go to none of it, bro. None of it.
Damn.
Nothing. I literally was so. I wouldn't. It is in a way stubborn, but it was just so. I was just like, I just figured everything out on my own, bro. I was just like, fuck it. But it was crazy because then I went on a trip to Mammoth with like nothing but people in chairs. It was like 10 of us maybe. And then just like it was for a week, and that whole experience changed the way I thought about being around other people in chairs, because it was like some of the most fun I had had in like years. Probably that was like the most, up to that point was probably like the most fun I had in a chair since my injury. You know, since the jump of my injury. And then after that I was like, I need to connect with more people in chairs, because you connect on a.
It's you know what? I think it's on a deeper level, right? You connect
For
more
sure,
on a
for
deeper
sure.
level for sure. I think I was gonna say, you know, I think it's something that it's something you have to get like accustomed and comfortable with, you know, because I too was on the same page, because I in the beginning I was like, I don't want to kick it with other fools in the woods. I got my homies. I got the other people. You know, like yo, my homies want to kick it. You know, they want to do this. Like, you know, and I get it. You know, but right after a while, you started understanding that like, yo, the homies they ain't worried about like if the bathroom is wide enough. The homies, they're not worried about like if you know, like other things that, you know, people in wheelchairs have to worry about. So, you know, you gotta, you know, meet other people that are gonna be in your same position, you know, that are gonna make you feel like everything else is normal, because it is. It is. You just need to understand that like you're not the only one going through all of this. You know, just earlier on we were talking about how many people are you know, joining our club every year. You know, like and that's, you know, it's very hurtful in a way too, but at the same time it you know, it's we're the ones that we're just paving the way for them. You know, we're the ones that paving the way for them right now, you know, because I remember when I was in the hospital, bro, and I remember there was no type of podcast like how there are now, that people are in disabled or people were in wheelchairs were like even speaking about. You get me? And so like I know that everything that we're doing now and everything that everybody else is doing now is helping out the community for, you know, not even for them. And that's what I love, that, because it's a very selfless thing. You know, because they're not doing it for them. You know, like I'm very you know, open to talk about all of this, because I know that it's gonna help somebody one day. You know, just us talking about like how we are or whatever the hell that we're talking about. And I know that it's gonna help somebody connect in ways that like they're gonna feel like they're included too. You know, and sure. I think that's dope, man. You know, that's really dope right there, bro.
Yeah, and then you like people can realize like we're just the same as normal motherfuckers. We just in a chair, you know, like we're fucking the same exact. Obviously we've changed. We as we said earlier, but it's like like for some reason I feel like some people have like this thing like we're in chairs and it's like we're different in some way, or we're like you need to be careful with us or some shit. You know, I'm like nah. Like I started doing the whole stand up thing, and when I'm in the club and shit, I'm like. I encourage people like go after me, bro. Treat me like another one of you guys, you know. Like, don't be like, cause I got that. I noticed that they're like there was even one comedian like his whole thing is being an insult comedian, but he didn't take a stab at me at any point, you know. And I after the show, I was like, I thought you were gonna go for me, bro. Like, what happened? And he was like, oh, I thought about it, bro, but then I started thinking. And I was like, nah, bro.
Hesitated on that one.
Yeah, I was like, next time you better fucking throw one at me, bro. You know, like what the fuck? I'm just another one of the guys. You know, don't fucking feel like.
I take life the same way too, because even when I'm out in the real world, you know, like I don't like when people like they give me that like pity kind of thing, like, oh, go in front of me, like it's okay, like nah, like you were here in front of me, like before me, so you have the right to wait. Oh, don't worry, I can wait too, like
Yeah,
like don't like you get me what I'm saying, like
yeah, I do
like
that. I never like in stores and shit. I never
yeah.
go to the front. The only time I use my motherfucking disability is at the DMV, cause that motherfucker takes forever.
Hey,
That I go walk in there like, yeah, bro. I just send me right to the appointment line, player.
that one, and then the other one, what's that other one? Where I have to go for my Medi-Cal and all that stuff. I forgot what kind of office that is.
Like the Social Security.
Yeah, the
office?
social, yeah, the
you-
social like like all those offices right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, man.
You get a little bit of cuts, like you know.
Yeah, but other than that, man, like I don't really I don't really like that whole like pity, like, oh, you go in front of me, like,
Yeah,
you know,
nah,
like
me
maybe the door, if you're in front of me, you're walking in front of me, like, all right, cool, you know, I got it. And see, that's another thing too, like before, I can never recall like me being those type of persons like that's gonna deny help. Before me, like I was always been like, oh hell yeah, like help me out, like you're gonna help me out, like thank you, like I appreciate it, you know, like
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much. To me, I thought it was like something that I would do for somebody, so I didn't think that it was weird for somebody doing it for me. You get me? So like I've done it before. I used to back in the days, like right before I was when I was walking, I would literally go out, you know, walking in the streets, you know, just chilling before I had a job, you know, and stuff like that. I would, you know, bump into a homeless person, you know, we'll chop it up and I'll be like, yo, you hungry? And, you know, I'll buy him like a lunch or whatever it is at that time, dinner or breakfast. And then like, you know, I'll buy it and then I'll be like, yo, let's just chop it up. Let's just talk or whatever, you know, I'll get to hear his story. And so like, I've always been, I've always been with the odd, like, people, you know, with everybody that felt like an outcast and everybody that felt like a minority in a type of sense, you know, like that was my crowd where like, yo, like I don't like they're not talking to you, like let me go talk to you then, you know, like I was that type of person, you get me, where I was like, yo, like I'm not gonna go over to this just because like this was a popular kid or whatever, you get me, like yo, like I don't care about none of that shit, you get me, like I want to hear, I'm more about substance, about what you got to talk to me about, you know, what's going on, what happened to your life, you know, so like I would go and sit down and I would chop it up with them, and you know, like they would tell me about their life, and you know, it was always cool, you know, it was always really cool. And so that had a opened my mind already from the very beginning to like kind of be open minded and like be kind to everybody, man, because you know it everybody could use your sense of light at sometimes, you get me, like your sense of hope sometimes, you know, because you know sometimes I know that people without even telling us, I know that we have motivated them in some type of like fucking way where like you know they see us that we're going out or we're doing this and they're like, shit, I'm not even doing that at all, you know, like.
Well, yeah, just in general, because like I make a joke about this of like I'll be rolling through the street, crossing the street, and somebody out of their car, they'll be like, "Hey, I'm proud of you're out there," and I'll be like, "You're proud of me because I'm crossing the street? What the fuck?" But it's like, yeah, like they see us and they're like, "Oh, look, they're actually out here doing some shit," you know? Like I understand that aspect. Like some people don't know how to express shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it comes out of a good place, but they just don't know how. They might not know how to word something correctly, or they might come off as like. Some people are just being genuine and they're just like they were brought up where they, you know, they're down to help out and all that. Some like for the most part, people are trying to just help you out of like genuine kindness of their heart, and they're just like good people, you know.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
yeah, I don't know. I've gotten people that are just like.
You know what? It's so funny you say that. I've never gotten anybody that like I felt like that it's trying to help me like out of pity.
Nah.
Or like no, I don't think I've ever gotten like anybody like that has gotten like. You know what? No. You know what? I take that back. I think there was one. This lady, she I was in the bus, and this is actually a pretty funny story because so I was on the bus. I was going inside, you know, and she goes inside and she's like, I was sitting down, you know, I was on my phone, and she starts telling me, she's like, oh, she's like, I think she told me somewhere along the line. She's like, oh, I feel bad for you. She's like, I feel really bad for you, and this and that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned back and I looked back at her and I was like, why do you feel bad for me? She's like, because of how you like where you are, and I was like, no. I was like, if anything, I was like, you should feel bad for everybody in this bus. I was like, look how like everybody's like, with a frown because they have to go to a place that they don't want to go work at. And I was like, look at me. I was like, I'm happy. I was like, I'm gonna go spend my money where I work for at the place where I want to go spend it at. You know, like which I was just going to the art store. You know, and I was trying to tell her like that. I was like, listen, I was like, you don't like you don't need to feel sorry for me like or tell me some type of way like that. You know, like and I feel that people. I feel like people that they're just afraid to picture themselves in that position.
Yeah.
That they automatically project themselves in that type of sense where like, oh, I feel bad for you. Like, nah, man, you're just scared of like thinking of putting yourself in that position because you wouldn't know or you wouldn't even think of how to begin moving in that situation.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's kind of like, in a way, it's almost a little bit like a taboo. It's like if you talk about it, like not necessarily it's gonna happen to you, but it's just kind of like, yeah, like, because the reality is like we were both living our life normal as fuck, and then, one, whether it be through gun violence or an accident or whatever the case may be, like anybody on this earth can end up right here along with us,
Yeah.
and then that's a scary thought. That's a scary thought of like just being like normal, and just something just changes fucking everything. Is it just me, or is there like some kind of humming, or like do you hear that on the headphones?
No, it's outside. I think it's just the plumbing.
Oh, it's picking up the here. Let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
put the. That shit is loud. It sounds loud as
Yeah.
fuck.
There you go. It's coming down on me.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's like I was hearing this buzzing
Yeah, I
sound.
think
And
it
I'm
was
like,
just like
oh, they probably like showering.
I
My
think they're
neighbors
showering,
probably
yeah,
showering and
showering.
shit, and the mics are picking it up. So I put the volume down a little bit. So you're doing like shows and stuff like that. So I'm guessing you post that stuff beforehand. So,
Yes, I do.
on
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram and on my personal page, you know, on the LA one. It's ELAY.ONE. I usually put my pop-ups event when I'm gonna go out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch me out there, and I'm working on my website. Should be up soon. So you know, if you want to purchase something, you be able to catch that on soon lately. Yeah.
For sure, and I'll put that on the screen, and I'll put it on the description so you guys could go follow him and check it out. So you guys could like, at least for the people that are like in the LA area, could go, check out, maybe the Rose Boy event or some of the other like art pop-ups that come out throughout the year,
Yeah.
that hopefully continue to,
And hopefully you're gonna
happening
be
and get
part of
more
it too, bro. Hopefully
yeah, I'm
you're
gonna
part of
try.
it too,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like we were talking about a little bit about my work. It's like I feel like I need to get like prints and kind of take that out, and then I have started doing these other like vinyl records that
I
I
like
think
that, yeah.
those were the would I'm gonna take. I took a few out, and like I got positive feedback, but the ones I took weren't done, so they weren't really for sale. It was kind of like a display thing. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get a few of those done, and then get some prints, and I'll definitely start hitting like a lot more of the like the pop-ups and the art shows that come up.
Yeah, to any other artist too that's like disabled or not disabled that is interested, should definitely you know give that a try. It's pretty fun, to go out there and check out other artists and being amongst other artists that are really creative and talented.
Yeah.
It's really fun, man. It's really fun to be out there and just vibing out with them for sure.
Yeah, like a good one to start with, if you don't want to start with something that's like a actual show and super kind of like official, is like the art walks. A few cities have like the art walks, and that's a really good starting point if you want to just, if you're creative anyway, or you have some kind of product that you make and you want to just showcase it in like a kind of not such a big official way, just to kind of like test the waters. Like the art walks are a really good way to even like network with people, meet other artists, and then obviously try to sell your work. Yeah, we kind of been going for a little bit, so kind of like to wrap it up, I kind of want to just see if there's any other like knowledge or anything else you want to like drop on people, just to kind of, and like your thoughts on anything you want to.
Man, I feel as far as like anything that we could drop, I feel like that, um, man, there's so many things that we could talk about. I think we definitely have to have a second part for sure.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to like I try to keep them at like an hour. We're at an hour and 20 minutes now.
But as far as like to leave off with, in a sense, or speak on, I just honestly I just want to, I guess, speak on, I guess, to the wheelchair community, to the spinal cord injury community, to, I guess, just stay strong, because it could get difficult sometimes, and I understand it because we're there, and I think that it only counts if we're living through it to speak on that, because we really do go through it, and it's hard, and I understand that some days you don't really want to get out of that bed, you don't want to hop onto that chair, or you just get angry at it, or you don't want to accept it, and I've been there. And I could honestly say that it's not that it's not gonna happen to you. It's like, of course, it's just like withdrawals. You're withdrawing from your old life. You're withdrawing from your able body life.
Yeah.
So all those little angers and all those little frustrations, just stick with it. And if you have a great attitude and a positive attitude, I think you're gonna get through it, no matter what. You get me? Because that's key. Attitude is it shifts whether you're gonna go on the right path or whether you're gonna go on the wrong path, man. So honestly, that's the biggest thing that I could honestly say, or just try to switch up your emotion as soon as you catch it that it's wrong. You get me? Like that'll save you from a bullet for sure, bro. For sure. No pun intended.
And sometimes intended.
And sometimes
like
intended.
Shit, like you gotta, like, sometimes you get yourself in situations, especially when there's like alcohol involved. You might,
I don't advocate alcohol at all, man. Like this, it's cool. I like it, like it like it
once in a while to loosen you up. But once you get to the point where you're fucking just getting wasted and blacking out, and then you don't remember what the fuck you're doing, that's a problem.
Just be aware and I guess more responsible with it, as far as like having really good control of it, and knowing who you are with it is key too, because if you don't know who you are with it, then it's gonna leave you astray, dog. It leads you astray.
A lot of people get a little too confident or a little too
too Supermanish.
Nah, man, it's good. Well, a lot of things is like a lot of people have traumas and shit that they don't deal with, and then they start drinking, and then it gets all mixed up.
That part.
And then anger comes out or frustration comes out, or
that's another topic we gotta talk about, man. For sure, like all of that.
No, for sure. I'm trying to keep it consistent, so it's like I'm trying to release a podcast every like Friday, Mondays if I'm fucking up. So yeah, it's like if I can if I can't fill the spot, like I definitely gonna wanna bring people back, and like
that'd be dope.
You're gonna be doing other stuff as well. We could talk about. I feel like we were talking about kind of like the wheelchair community. It's like I feel like a lot of us, myself included, I portray a certain image on a lot of times. Yeah. And it's like there are certain things like, man, like when you're feeling like shit, you don't want to fucking put a camera on your face and be like, yo, today is a shitty day. Yeah. But I feel like that is things that we do need to speak on, because it's like I feel like we're both doing things and succeeding and pushing ourselves, but hard days do exist, and that's fine. It's okay to feel like shit some days, because we're all human, and that's a part of like the human experience, regardless of you're in a chair or not. Yeah. There's fucking millionaires that blow their fucking brains out. So it's okay to have like a bad day, a bad couple of days, but you just gotta remember at the end of the day that it's all like a mentality. You have to pick yourself up and say like, not today. Today I'm gonna fucking get up, fucking jump in the shower, get my day started. Fucking,
even if you don't want to shower, just keep cooking.
Fucking take your stanky ass as long as you're productive. You ain't no. Yeah, man. yeah, you'll fucking, I'll definitely have you back on and shit. Like I feel like we could talk about so many things, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely
We'll
have a
chop it up.
few
We'll
more
shoot it soon,
fucking
for sure, though.
for sure. It
Yeah,
was
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
no for
Again.
sure, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming through, and I don't know. I feel like I do have the belief that you meet people for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like something was trying to bring us together, and maybe for whatever reason it might have not been the right time for one of us or something. But yeah, man, I'm glad I went to the show. Shout out Angel and Josie for inviting me. They actually let me come through for my birthday. That was like my birthday gift from them. You know, getting a spot at the show. Yeah,
dope, yeah.
so yeah, shout out to you guys for always fucking, you know, bringing artists and
for real.
and the community together.
For sure.
And yeah, fucking thanks again, bro. It was fucking really dope chopping it up throughout the whole day, man. Like I say, now we were having a whole deep ass conversation earlier. We brought a lot of that stuff up, but yeah, we've basically been talking a lot of the day, you know.
For sure. We definitely have to bring a lot more of the deeper topics to you guys, because this is just, we're kind of puzzling whatever we talked about right now and bringing it all together.
Yeah.
But I think that next time, I think we'll be a little bit more not that we weren't prepared, because
I have a little,
you know,
we wrote down a few ideas down. Yeah, for sure.
But I think the next time, I think we'll definitely have it a little bit more structured
For sure,
talk,
yeah.
bro, where we should, you know, kind of stay, like, you know, with with
on specific topics.
Yeah,
And yeah,
for
like
sure.
shoot us like a comment. Let us know if there's anything you guys want
Yeah.
to know about, whether it be the injury or whether it be our artwork, some of the stuff that we do. Yeah, just if you want to shoot a specific question, like I said, I posted, your information will be up. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for David, go follow him on all his you know, social media stuff. And yeah, like you could go ahead and ask him a question, and maybe on the next show we could bring some of those stuff up, you know, like just to change it up a little bit, you know, have some questions that you guys had for you or myself. But yeah, thanks again, bro. Look forward to the next one.
That'd be dope.
And yeah, let's continue to fuck this art shit up. And you as well, keep fucking doing your thing with the art. It's really dope. Yeah, man, we're gonna fucking keep.
Yeah, we're gonna bring you guys some good shit this year for sure. Like I said, man, this year should be about it, and not just for you and I, but for everybody, man. Like, if you ain't got nothing, you know, if you feel like you got nothing going on for yourself, or like you have that little, you know, kind of hesitation of starting something, like, just go for it, jump, man. Like, do it.
Yeah, just actually go.
You never know if you're gonna wake up tomorrow, and that's just some real shit. You know, like, for real.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier. You said that like sometimes you might feel like you're not ready. Like, that's one of the things with this podcast. I was like, I had the idea, and then one day I was like, I feel unprepared, but fuck it, I'm just gonna get the equipment and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do it. So man, just get out there, do it. Yeah, if you ain't doing shit, man, goddamn, you better get up and do some shit, man. Like, time is like
washing your ass first.
For real. Nah, man, time is like a commodity that a lot of people waste, man. Like, we only have so much time here, so just do something with that time, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, fucking catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Pacing in my studio, just coming up with dapper bars to spit in crucial situations when I play the rapper's part. Heard I got a denim heart and lyricism in my jeans. Cut a track down, leave it bald head like Mr. Clean. Spit it mean, a record fiend. I school you niggas, call me Dean. I'm always specious, never seen. Stay on the chase for minty green. His logo, how these niggas say they ballin', but they broke though.